So we are going to welcome head coach Bill Littleton onto the show to discuss his upcoming matchup against Weslaco, but at the same time, recap what he saw versus Eagle Pass. What was it that he did differently? How did Matthew Kaufman perform in his senior playoff game, number one, and the momentum, the flow. If rolling undefeated, they'll be able to continue to do so when they take on the Panthers on Friday night. So we welcome to the show head coach Bill Littleton of the McCallum Memorial Mustangs. Coach, how was that ride back from Laredo for you last night?
Well, it was a good ride home with a good wind, but it was a long ways. We got here about 2:30 last night, I guess.
Woo, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Tell me about your matchup against Eagle Pass last night. Tell me what you saw and what you didn't see and how you can build upon it.
Well, I felt like we came out and played pretty well. We played a lot of kids. We pulled pretty much all of our starters out to start the fourth quarter and got some young kids playing some playing time, and it was good for those young kids to see the field and got our starters out and not risk any injuries with them. So it was good.
The 13 points that Eagle Pass put up, was that, against some of your younger guys later in the game?
Yeah, it's against our twos and some of our threes later in the ball game.
Were they as difficult as, they had been made out to be, or was this something where you thought, hey, this is either A, unusually easy for us, or B, we're really rolling right now?
Well, we felt like going into the ball game we had a good chance if we just didn't beat ourselves, and we were fortunate enough last night that we didn't turn the ball over any, and we did a good job of not making mistakes by turning the ball over. Defensively, we played pretty solid for most of the ball game.
Tell me about Mr. Kaufman. How did he handle the senior year playoffs? I mean, obviously he's no stranger to it, being there before, but it's different when you're a senior and the realization that, hey, if something goes wrong, this could be my last game.
Well, he looked really, really poised out there last night. He just did a good job of controlling the ball game and being the field general that he is. And I think he was 6 for 6 on his first passes last night. He probably didn't run the ball quite as much as he had been the last 2-3 games. Some of our running backs had a good game early and got off, and so they did a good job there, and we was able to save his legs and his body a little bit last night. But he looked really well throwing the football and looked like he was ready to roll for the playoffs. Was
that by design that you didn't have him run as much?
Well, it just happened that when we started the ball game last night, Rigo Rodriguez just was on fire last night for us. His first run went for about 45 yards, and he built on it. He just had a terrific ball game last night. Rigo did.
Attaboy, Rigo, way to step up like that. And then obviously this coming Friday, you're going to be staying here in the RGV. There won't be a need to travel outside when you take on Weslaco.
Yeah, we traveled to Resco on Friday night and played them at 7:30, and they're a very solid football team, a very good football team. Tony V does a great job. It should be a great matchup. Should be one of the premier games in the Valley this Friday.
This isn't your first time going against Tony V, is it?
Well, no. My first ball game here at Memorial, we played. He was at Hannah, and they beat us 28-27 in overtime down there, I believe.
Wow. And is that the only time that you faced him?
As a head coach, we faced him as when I was defense coordinator. He was the head coach at Port Isabel. We played him 2 different times in the playoffs then. Do
you think his scheme has changed much since then, or is it going to be the typical Tony V football that we can expect?
Yeah, Tony does. He does good what he does. They run that slot T, and they do a great job of controlling the football. And he's a master of it. He's been running for a long time. He knows all the ins and outs of it. So I don't look for him to change a whole lot. And they just do a great job doing what they do.
But quite a few of your opponents have run slot T, haven't they?
No, we really hadn't seen the slot T much this year.
So this is going to be something that's not only new for your defense, but for the entire, your young players there to go out and face something new and try to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, we probably hadn't played the slot T team really since probably PSA North or Rio Grande City. That's probably the last time we played the slot T team. So it'll be a little bit different for us. We'll have to get ready in a hurry. Friday night will roll around before we know it.
And that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's always a good thing.
After a while, you're just kind of like, okay, get here. Let's finish this one up already.
Yeah, your kids this time of year, they're, most of the fundamentals are already been taught. You try to redo them a little bit, but they're ready for game time usually this time of year. That's what it's all about, and they're ready for the ball games to roll around.
Was anybody keeping an eye on Mackay for you? Did they kind of give you a heads up about what their performance had been, or was that something where you just, hey, we're focused on Mustang football right now?
We're pretty much focused on Mustang football, but we did hear a few scores being announced last night. The PA announcer there at Shirley Field did a pretty good job of keeping the fans updated. I didn't hear all of them, but I did catch one or two during the ball game. But they did a pretty good job of keeping everybody informed.
Well, you guys are last man standing in the McAllen area, so congratulations on that. And we look forward to Wednesday. Oh, I want to bump up your game already. We're looking forward to Friday when you take on Weslaco, Coach.
But don't bump it up to Wednesday because we're going to need a little more time to get ready for that slot season.
I'm sure you can adapt and overcome. It won't be an issue for you.
No, it'll be an issue for you. We'll need at least till Friday. I promise you.
You should get Coach Schnall out there to help you motivate the guys and get them ready to go.
Yeah, I think we have to bring him back from North Carolina or somewhere. Isn't he out of state now?
Is that where he's at? Last time I saw him, he was asking me for $20, and I never seen him again.
I think he moved up with his son. I think he's in North Carolina or South Carolina, somewhere up there now.
Excellent. Well, we'll reach out to him. Coach, always a pleasure. Best of luck on Friday night.
I appreciate it, Tony. Good to hear from you.
Likewise, sir. Head coach Bill Littleton of the McAllen Memorial Mustangs coming in and breaking it down for us, the way that Mr. Kaufman didn't have to run much, didn't have to put that much damage onto his body. They rested their starters pretty much in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, and managed to get by Eagle Pass at Laredo Shirley Field, 35-13 victory. They're looking forward to taking on Weslaco at Weslaco Friday night, 7:30. Catch the game here on 840 Fox Sports Radio. And last night it was interesting because it almost had a red zone channel feel to what was going on last night. What happened? What was going on?
Well, because we have 4 games going on. We thought it would be a good idea to incorporate that in the playoffs. If we